Mobile plant is a major cause of work-related death and injury in Australian workplaces. The Code of Practice for Managing the Risks of Plant in the Workplace explains how best to implement the legislative requirements for controlling the risks of mobile plant. A risk assessment should always be done before the plant comes to site. This should identify all hazards associated with the plant. When identifying hazards, you should think about all the activities that may be carried out during the life of the plant at the worksite. Once all hazards have been identified, their risks should be assessed and controls should be implemented to eliminate or minimise these risks. When the plant arrives on site, it should be checked to ensure it's within its servicing window and has been adequately maintained. The intended operator should be trained and competent and licensed where required, and pre-start inspections should be done prior to every use. Where required, traffic management plans may also need to be developed and implemented and communicated to all workers. All of these checks should be done as part of the plant induction process, which will now be demonstrated in this short video.
Today I'll be showing you the CC Pines mobile plant induction process. This process is documented on the CC Pines mobile plant induction form, which is Rec 41. This can be found in the CC Pines integrated management system. The first thing you'll come across on the plant induction form is the project details. This is pretty straightforward. First up, you've got your project name or code number, project manager needs to be listed, site location where the plant will be taken to, the date that it's entering the site, and the date that it's ceasing work on site. The next section you come across is the plant details itself. First up is the plant type. Here you've got an excavator. Next is make and model. This can be found on your compliance plate, which in this case is just on the side of the cab, and that's quite common for a lot of these types of machines. It lists make, model. Next on the list, the plant serial number, which is also found underneath the make and model. Next up is the plant operator detail. If the plant requires a license, a current copy must be provided. If the license is not required, the operator needs to be deemed competent by a competent person. Any piece of plant coming to site needs to be accompanied by a risk assessment and the most recent and up-to-date maintenance history. Any attachments that are being brought onto site along with the plant need to be listed on the plant register, such as this bucket. All lifting gear, including chains and slings, need to be listed in the lifting gear register. And if any loads are to be slung, not using an engineered lifting point, a dogman or rigger is required. Each piece of plant requires its own fire extinguisher. The one thing you need to look out for during the plant inductions is the tag. It has to be within date, has to be within 6 months of its last inspection, which this one is April 2018, so it's good to go. Each piece of plant has its own operator's manual. This is usually found either behind the seat or under the seat. A pre-start inspection checklist will be found alongside the operator's manual. The checklist covers the important safety items that need to be inspected daily. For this particular excavator, some of these items include seat belt being functional and in good condition, machine signs are legible and in the correct location, the steering levers, controls and foot pedals all returned to neutral, the safety treads are in good condition, the indicator lamps, flashing beacon and horn are working correctly, the movement alarms are working correctly. You need to inspect for fuel, oil and hydraulic fluid leaks. Check there is a fire extinguisher available and that has been inspected within the last 6 months. Check hydraulic lines and rams for leaks or damage. And finally, check ROPs or FOPs are in good condition and not damaged. ROPs, FOPs or TOPs provide protection during a rollover or when objects fall on the cabin. Items to look out for while inspecting these include corrosion from age or exposure to moisture, modification to the structure, excessive vibration, i.e. rollers, this includes metal fatigue, incorrect reinstallation from old pieces of plant to new ones. When a piece of plant includes ROPs and or FOPs, a compliance plate will be fitted to the frame which states the relevant standards that the piece of plant was originally manufactured to comply with. Make sure the piece of plant has a working flashing beacon and an audible movement alarm fitted. If the plant fails any of the inspections we have been through today, it is not approved for use on site. Please seek further clarification from your site supervisor.